Hey, Mama. Welcome back to Business, Babies, and Burnout, the unfiltered podcast for mamas building businesses without burning out. I'm Cece, a mama, digital business mentor, and burnout survivor. If you're listening to this in early January, I want you to know something right out of the gate. If you already feel behind, if the year just started and you're already tired, if you're looking at everyone else's New Year, New Me energy and thinking, I don't have it in me, nothing is wrong with you. This episode is not about convincing you to try harder. It's about explaining why New Year pressure backfires for moms and what actually works instead. Because I do believe in resets. I believe in fresh starts. I believe in reflecting, refining, and choosing differently. What I don't believe in is pretending motherhood didn't completely change your capacity. Here is why New Year pressure hits moms differently. Every January, we're sold this idea that motivation magically resets on January 1st. New habits, new routines, new goals, new energy. But here's the problem. Motherhood doesn't reset on January 1st. Your child still wakes up at night. Your mental load doesn't disappear. Your body doesn't suddenly have more energy. Your life doesn't suddenly have more margin. And yet, the expectations placed on moms in January somehow increase. We're expected to be more disciplined, be more productive, be more consistent, be healthier, grow our business, fix our finances, improve our relationships, all while still being the default parent. Because let's be honest, in most families, moms are the ones tracking everything. The appointments, the meals, the naps, the birthdays, the emotional temperature of the house. And that doesn't stop just because it's a new year. So, what's the real reason New Year pressure backfires? New Year pressure fails moms because it's built on unrealistic, outcome-based expectations instead of capacity-based habits. Here's a common example. A mom decides, this is the year I'm finally going to lose the weight. And instead of asking, what can my life realistically support right now? She jumps straight to something extreme. 0 to 75, all or nothing. Perfect or failure. And yes, a very small percentage of people can stick to that, but most can't. Not because they're weak, not because they lack discipline, but because the plan doesn't match their life. That's why by mid-February, most New Year goals are already abandoned. And here's where it gets dangerous. When the goal falls apart, moms don't say, that plan wasn't realistic. They say, I failed. And that's where burnout starts. I lived this last year. I want to share this honestly because I think it matters. Last year, I became a mom. My son just turned 1. I was learning motherhood from scratch while trying to grow a business. I was recovering from a C-section that took 5 months to be cleared because of pain related to previous injuries. And in the middle of all of that, I lost my mom. There was no balance. There was survival. There was grief. There was exhaustion. And I want to say this clearly because someone listening needs to hear it. Not every season is meant to look productive. Not every year is meant to look impressive. Some seasons are about getting through. And that doesn't mean you're failing at life or business. Here's the lie. New Year pressure sells moms. If you just organized better, tried harder, or stayed more consistent, you'd finally get ahead. That's not true. Most moms don't need more discipline. They need realistic expectations, systems that fit their capacity, permission to stop doing everything at once. We're not meant to have 45 mental tabs open all the time. But motherhood requires juggling. There's no just focus on one thing season for most moms. And pretending there is only adds guilt. So here's the mindset shift I want you to take into this year. Stop setting outcome-based goals you can't control. Start setting action-based goals that you can. This applies to health. This applies to business. This applies to life you cannot control. When someone buys from you, how fast your business grows, how your body responds week to week, but you can control. What actions you take, how often you show up, what you protect. For me this year, instead of obsessing over income numbers I can't force, I'm setting action-based goals. Things like creating content consistently, showing up for my community, protecting rest so I can sustain momentum. Those are levers I can actually pull. And when you do this, something powerful happens. You stop measuring your worth by results. You start measuring progress by integrity. Micro habits beat motivation. Every time. Another truth moms need to hear in January. You don't need a massive routine overhaul. You need micro habits that fit your real life. A habit you can do on your hardest day is the habit that sticks. That might look like a 10-minute walk instead of an hour workout, one focused task during nap time, one glass of water before coffee, one boundary that protects your energy. Small doesn't mean insignificant. Small means sustainable, and sustainable is how change actually happens. Remember, rest is not a reward. I want to say this clearly because it's something I struggle with too. You do not have to earn rest. You do not have to finish everything first. You do not have to be productive enough to deserve it. Just recently, I told my husband I needed a few hours to rest. Not because everything was done, but because my body needed it. And that rest made me a better mom, a better partner, and honestly, a better business owner. Burnout prevention isn't about doing less forever. It's about doing what your capacity allows right now. So if New Year pressure doesn't work, what does? Here's what I want you to try reframing this year around. Instead of asking, what do I need to fix? Ask, what can my life realistically support in this season? Instead of, how do I do more? Ask, what can I do consistently without burning out? Instead of, why can't I keep up? Ask, what needs to change so this feels sustainable? This is how real momentum is built, quietly, gradually, without self-betrayal. If you want something practical without pressure, here's a simple reset you can try this week. For the next 7 days, choose one action-based habit in one area of your life. Not 3, not 5, 1. Something small enough that you don't need motivation to do it. And instead of asking, did this change everything? Ask, can I keep this? That question will guide you better than any New Year resolution ever will. You are not behind. You are not broken. And you are not failing because your life looks different now. You are building inside a body, a home, and a season that requires care and that deserves respect. If you need help resetting your expectations and choosing habits that actually fit your life right now, there's a reset without pressure worksheet waiting for you inside the Balanced Mom Boss Hub.